When looking for the king of podcasts, you're at the wrong channel.
Well, excuse me!
Looking for good ideas for life? You're far from good hands.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
If you think the listener is always right, you're far from the right place.
Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works!
Hosted by a Northeasterner by birth, but a rebel by choice.
Are you threatening me?
If you want a host that floats between love and madness,
and we know the night is always gonna be here anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite. Looking forward to a little afternoon delight.
then play on and listen to Crazy Train Radio.
All right, guys, listen to this blues riff and B. Watch me for the changes and try and keep up, okay?
Within the gaming world, there are your general gamers, but then there are those that enjoy the dark underbelly of gaming. If you're one of those that enjoy the dark underbelly of gaming, we certainly got the place to send you. Scorpion Lair Games. That's right, Scorpion Lair Games is the creators of the true crime hit Killers, the card game. Let's not forget they also have Killers Clothing Company, their profiler game, and things like the 5-Minute Murder channel on YouTube. And we certainly can't forget the new book that is certainly a hit, Beyond the Headliners, True Crimes, Myths, and Legends. Make sure you visit Jeff and the Scorpion Lair Games on Facebook and everywhere today.
Yo, Ken Abraham here, listening to Crazy Train Radio.
Hey folks, it's your least favorite host in the podcast world, Croc, Jonathan Steele. And boy, do we have a good one for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this next guest has certainly done plenty of things in his career. But we certainly will go all over the place with this conversation. Our guest has acted on shows such as NYPD Blue, Law and Order, ER, and others. But he also was a co-star with a friend of the show, Miss Linnea Quigley, in the horror classic Creepazoids. In more recent years, he has made a living on the editing side of things. But let's get into everything and welcome Mr. Ken Abraham.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
So, I do want to give thanks to Aaron at A&B Movies for the hookup. But, Mr. Abraham, Ken, how are you, sir? How are
I'm
you?
doing great. I'm thrilled to be here.
So, we're going to go in a direction I didn't think we were going, but why not? We'll start there. That's
Okay.
usually my MO. So, you were starting to say I guess you went into some of the show history, and you were listening
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Supermouth Dave Brzezinski.
So I was loving his stories. I was loving his stories, and especially, he said he was in a match, or he did a bit with the McGuire twins.
Ah,
Now,
yes.
these guys, it's 750 pounds each.
Yeah.
And I've seen photos of them. I've never seen them wrestle, whatever. So he was telling me the story. I thought it was fantastic because as a kid, I loved Haystacks Calhoun. You
Okay.
know, he was, in fact, I'm still pissed off at Haystacks. I still have, like, to this day, I'm still mad about this, right? When I was a little kid, superstar Billy Graham,
Okay.
WWF, was the
Yeah.
heavyweight champion, and I lived in New York. And at the Nassau Coliseum, he was wrestling Haystacks Calhoun, 601 pounds for the title, right?
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't go alone. I was a kid. I had to pay for my brother's ticket, which was my life savings, my piggy bank, everything I had. I go to this match, and Haystacks wears the horseshoe, on the
Yeah.
chain. That's his thing.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Almost
the
like a
beginning of the
hillbilly, what
match.
Hillbilly Jim and all would do.
Yeah, he wears he's 601 pounds. He has the hillbilly outfit, the overalls. He's wearing the horseshoe on the chain. He turns around to take it off and put it on, the corner turnbuckle. Superstar goes off the ropes, hits him in the back, double knees. Haystacks goes through the ropes. So I could only imagine in real life he got hurt, because the next thing I know, the referee goes, "The winner in 26 seconds, superstar Billy Graham." I was livid.
Especially in New York at the Nassau Coliseum and stuff.
Oh,
They,
26 seconds. I wanted to see
yeah.
that match.
It used to be like they say in the early '90s, the Tyson fights. People spend
Oh, yeah.
$49.99 or whatever it was for their pay-per-view. Oh, this is gonna be
Yeah.
great. Bang! Tyson would hate you.
Bang.
What the fuck
Yeah.
is this shit? Like, like.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I'll
watched
hook you up
every
with-
one of those.
I'll make an introduction to Dave and for you, because Dave is.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
his
loves
stories
telling
were
his
incredible.
stories. Yeah, he's out of the.
Incredible.
You would notice Detroit territory back in the day. The Sheik ran that territory out there. And
Yeah,
he
well,
worked
you
with
want to
the
know
Sheik.
something? I was listening to that. I was eating it up because when I was a kid, I was in the Northeast,
Yeah.
and we just didn't get that other stuff. So I like the Sheik was on the cover of Inside Wrestling, the wrestler. I was like got all those
Yeah.
magazines. I'd always see this guy going, "I'm dying to see him," and then I saw that the movie. I like to hurt people, which was
Okay.
fantastic. And yeah, he was not in my wheelhouse, because but when I was a kid, this was back in the day, you have the rabbit ears, for the antennas, and then you had that little circle antenna for VHS, right?
Uh-huh.
And one day I came across channel 52, which, back in the day was like, might as well have been Mars. And I picked up Wrestling from Florida with Gordon Soley. And then I
Championship
saw
wrestler
that's
from Florida.
It was, I fell in love with the Funk brothers, Dory Funk, Terry Funk when he was young. Brilliant. Still brilliant when he was old.
I've done a couple episodes
Four
with
Horsemen.
Dory. Dory was great. And
Dory, you want to know something? I wrote Dory an email not like 3 months ago, just a few months ago. I was on YouTube, because this is what I do when I'm bored. And I watched him wrestle Abdullah the Butcher, right? And he gets him in a full suplex. I mean, vertical, just and I could not believe, I've never seen Abdullah the Butcher take a suplex.
like
And
that.
I looked him up. I got his email. I wrote him a letter saying, it's 50 years ago, but I was like, hey, that was incredible. He wrote me back.
Yeah, Dory's a great dude.
Yeah.
I got some good Terry Funk stories, by the way, which are
Oh my
I've got-
God.
because it's funny, and I'll hook you up with my two of my other co-hosts. One, he did a book called The Wrestler's Wrestler, which there's all kinds of stories. So I'll hook you up with Mr. Young. But the other one was a photographer out at the in the LaBelle territory in Los Angeles.
Oh,
And,
wow.
yeah, his brother was, I don't know if you know anything about mixed martial arts, But Judo Gene LaBelle, who was also an actor as well.
Oh yeah. Sure. He worked with like Bruce Lee back in the day. They supposedly
Yep.
put him in check a little bit. Okay.
Uh-huh.
There's
Yeah,
stories about
there's some
that.
stories
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah. So Dr. Mike, who was a dentist and photographer, he's got stories upon stories. I'll hook you up with all these guys, so you can
Oh, amazing.
talk the old school.
Yeah,
But yeah,
when you said Los Angeles, you mean the Olympic Auditorium?
yes,
That,
that was their main hub, the Olympic Auditorium.
yeah. Yeah, I used to watch that with Chavo Guerrero
Yeah,
back in the
and
day, and Roddy
Piper and
Piper was
Chavo
there
with the
back then.
yeah. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the famous La
Shave your
Cucaracha
head
story.
match. There was a shave your head match, and that's
Yeah,
old school.
yeah. There's the famous La Cucaracha story with Piper, and
Oh, I
they
don't know that one.
literally ripped out they literally were ripping out the seats of the auditorium there. Well,
Oh my
apparently,
gosh.
because he was feuding with Chavo Senior for the younger audience, and
Yeah.
so he somehow offended the crowd. So the TV station called the promotion and said, "Yeah, we need an apology, legit apology, all this stuff." And so Roddy goes out and says, "I'm gonna apologize to you guys, and I'm gonna learn the Mexican national anthem on the bagpipes. So
Oh
give me
shit.
a week or two." And you know where I'm going with this. So
I know where you're
the next,
going with this. Oh
so
no.
Piper comes out in a week or two when he says he's going to learn it. I need time to learn it, folks. While I want to apologize appropriately. So comes for that show to TV again, and or was this might have been a Saturday night show or whatever. And he goes, he gets ready. He starts playing the cucaracha on the bagpipes. People start getting the chair.
Yeah.
Real heat, back in the day.
Yeah, real heat. No one got heat
It
like
was
he
great.
got heat. Oh, that's
Oh
great.
yeah. Yeah, they got fun stuff like that. Uh, well, before we get into the movies and the editing and all that stuff, I do got a
Yeah.
full disclosure. I had
Okay.
reached out to your co-star, Linnea Quigley.
Oh shit.
Oh, I've known Linnea for a few years,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, so I sent her a text. I said, "Hey, I'm talking to Ken tonight. Anything I should bring up?" So she says to me, "Bullshit. I'll deal with that later."
Push-ups and yams. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she goes, "That's this." That was where I was going to go. I read about that story, but she says, "Ask him about eating a lot during rehearsals."
Yeah, that was it. That was the yams. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because
Oh, she was great.
there was also another story about she got the can of yams, had everybody sign it, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. Well, it was my first movie, and
Yeah.
Linnea, she was a seasoned pro, and she was so cool, and I was so nervous around her. And I figured my character, hey, I'm Butch Finelli. That's my character. I'm eating. And for everyone's take, I'm eating. And, like I'm such a dipshit. You don't eat. You only eat when the camera's on you. But I was just eating. So I was about to die after like an hour. They were running out of yams. They were like, stop eating the food. And then she got a can of yams at the end of the film and had the cast sign it. It was really sweet.
Yeah.
It was really sweet.
Now the push-ups, that was part of her messing with you, right? Because she likes to screw with people.
Oh yeah, she'd mess with me because
After the
I had like
after
my
the
shirt
shower
off
scene,
most
right?
of them. Oh well, dang. But I had my shirt off a lot of the movie. So whenever, before we do a take, I jumped down and do some push-ups, because you're embarrassed with your shirt off. And so she'd go, "Oh my God, they need us in 5 minutes." And I'd like jump down and start like hitting push-ups like a soldier. And she would just start laughing. And I was like, "Oh, you got me again."
Yeah. Yeah, because the prank I heard about, you were going to make you do to reshoot the shower scene, and they...
Oh,
Yeah, but that was
Oh.
because that was her first... Creepazoid, she was first-time producer on that, folks, so people know what I'm talking about. And
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, you did that shot, etc. Then it was a couple days
Yeah.
later, apparently she told you, "Oh, we got to reshoot reshoot the
Oh,
shower
I don't
scene.
remember her retelling me. Probably was terrified.
That's the rumor I heard about, but
Yeah, because I probably went to craft service and went, "Oh no."
yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't eating and all that kind of stuff. But do you talk to her much
exactly.
anymore? Or have you heard from her at
I
all?
haven't. You know what? There was a horror convention that I took my daughter to in Burbank, and my daughter was younger, so it must have been 6, 7, 8 years ago. It was in Burbank, and she was there with Dave Dakota, and I went to
Okay.
their booth, and it was funny. People coming up saying, "Oh, I loved you in this, I loved you in that," and I'm standing next to it. No one recognized me. No one remembered me, and I was like, what are you
Well,
gonna do?
that's yeah, it is what it is. So it's just I'm all over the place. I was just texting her back saying uh, I did what was accomplished, but actually, why I'm pulling up my notes. What are you drinking there tonight?
Oh, right now I'm drinking a little Whistle Pig rye. I'm a rye guy for the most
Okay.
part.
Yeah, I usually
Yeah.
have a bottle of Tullamore Dew sitting next to Freddie here, which is
Oh,
people
there
make a
you go.
people laugh at me. Go, you got your bottle because we do a lot of virtual watch parties too of different movies,
Oh,
and they're
nice.
like, yeah, people go, hey, where's your bottle of whiskey? Or hey, where's your bowl of bourbon? What are you drinking tonight?
Yeah, wait,
So
I got a tequila that you might like. Check this one out.
what do you
Look at this
got?
guy. Can you see this?
And he looks like a luchador too, which
It's
is
just a
awesome.
it's a yeah, isn't that a cool bottle?
It
I love
is.
this one.
What's the name of that? Or was that just a bottle you had?
Tequila de la Lucha Reposada. I just
Oh,
like the
that
bottle. It was really
yeah, it
good.
makes sense. Oh
Yeah.
boy. So actually, with Creepazoids, was it true that you were visiting a friend, Billy Frank, and that's how you kind
Oh
of
yeah.
got with the audition and such?
Yeah, yeah, we would crash each other's auditions. I don't even think I crashed this audition. I just think I showed up, for like a little support. And then I hit it off with Dave Dakota, and Dave Dakota hired me on the movie. So it was
Right
really
on.
cool. Yeah, it was a great experience. It was a trip. It was
Nice.
my first movie, so it was really cool. And Linnea was so nice to me and so cool because it could have, your first movie, you're kind of terrified and scared. It could have gone a bad way, but she was really, really cool.
Yeah, I've heard about that with other actors and actresses. Like especially in their first couple roles, that when they're getting their feet wet, it's like
Yeah,
nerves and all that stuff. And sometimes I've heard of bad experiences, not so much for the actor, but maybe that will come on later on because of somebody
yeah.
getting upset, the director or producer or this or that. It's like I don't know. I can't speak on it, but so
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of, Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry. There was a little delay
Oh,
there.
no, I was saying I've been on like TV shows, and I don't want to name them because I don't want to name the actors, but I've been on TV shows where like, or like I'm a guest star or a co-star on it. And you'll be on the show for like a week or two. They won't even talk to you. It's a
Yeah.
weird thing. And then you're like, "Ooh, do they not like me? Am I bad?" It's just weird. So that's why I'm saying like working with people like Linnea and stuff was just really cool because
Yeah.
people could be douchey, you know?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
funny, and I'm not sure if you know the name or not, but he was an actor stunt guy. I just actually taped with on, I think it was Friday. He's actually going to be at a show I'm going to be at next month with Linnea and a few other people. William Perry,
Oh, cool.
and
William
he
Perry.
was telling me a
All right.
story of what the hell's his name? Bill Paxton. He was on
Oh, yeah.
Predator 2 with Bill Paxton. And you know how they hit on the sets, most sets they have like the director's chairs and all with people's names on it. So he
Yeah.
thought, oh, that was my chair because it said Bill and that was it. Sits down, relaxes,
Yeah.
and he gets tapped
Yeah.
on the shoulder by Bill Paxton. Hey, that's my chair. Are you Bill too? And they just hit it off. And he said Bill Paxton couldn't have been sweeter. So it was the
Oh,
complete
cool. I thought
opposite.
I thought it was going to go the other way. I'm glad it went that way. Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought you were
but
going
he
to say
ended
Bill
up,
was like, "You're in my chair."
yeah, but it was like, yeah, because all it said was Bill. Like it didn't have a Bill P or Bill, and everybody on
Yeah.
set called him Bill.
Yeah.
So with Creepazoids, I didn't realize they and I that was something I didn't even think about. They use shaving cream for the soap for the look.
Apparently, it looks better on camera. You know, it wasn't.
Well,
It wasn't a real shower. You know.
yeah.
You know the story. We were standing in a kiddie pool with a poles. You know, standing up, freezing.
Geez. Yeah.
And when you're naked, the
So,
last thing you want to do is be freezing. You know what I mean?
I know this will get me in trouble, but it's like when I'm standing there freezing, I'm Jewish. I get everything half off. What do you expect?
You know.
You can send the emails and the hate tweets to me. That's fine. I made the joke. No. It's fine. But obviously you've done so many different projects, but lately you've been involved with editing and such. So
Yeah,
and
I've been editing
noticed you've done,
for a long while.
but
What?
I've noticed you were doing a lot of editing for like reality TV shows, but also some shows on history as well, like Ancient Aliens and stuff. So
Oh yeah, I did Ancient Aliens a bunch. I did the whole Jersey Shore run, the original run, which was juggernaut. Like no one expected. Like we were getting ratings that rivaled the Super Bowl. I was like, you know, like most shows, if you hit a 3 or if you hit a 1.5, you know, there's certain ratings that people freak out on. We were getting 9 point something ratings, which is just unheard of. Like, see, like Jersey Shore was crazy. Yeah, and I edited it. It was great.
So with that, and this is that inner nerd in me with the production side, since I'm a one
Yeah.
man deal here. When you're hired to edit, what kind of instructions are you given? Or is it different instructions depending on the format you're doing, such as a reality TV show like that compared to something like Ancient Aliens to, the different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people have a direction of where they want it to go, but there is so much footage to go
Yeah.
through that you're just finding little nuggets and stuff. So you'll sift through, there's story producers, who are in the field, and then there's story producers who are in post, and they just go through all that stuff. And then it'll end up to be, you cut an act at a time, which is, in between commercials, act one, commercial, act two, commercial, so you get about a week to cut an act. And you got to take all those hours and get it into like 7 minutes of good television. So you got to just go through all the material, and the story producers do a lot, and we dig in. Yeah, it's basically make it good, because a lot of times we'll find stuff that the story people missed. It's like, oh, did you see him do this? Did you see Snooki do that? That kind of thing. Sally Ann
Yeah.
Salsano, who is actually a friend of mine, is the executive producer, is the brain of the thing. She's the creator, and yeah, she made that show. She's incredible.
Now, how much of a time frame would you say you get from the finishing of taping to when shows are being released? Or is it an episode by episode type of deal that, okay, we got enough footage for episode 1 and 2, we need this in a month, say?
Yeah, well, they usually attack it with like, several editors. You'll have like 4 or 5 editors, and then like, so it's rare. And there's some shows I've been on where I like the entire show is my show. I cut act one, act two, act three, act four, act five. But most of the time you get act one, someone else gets act two, someone else gets act three, because they want to be working on it simultaneously to get the thing
Yeah.
out the door. Because if you do one act at a time, clearly it takes longer. Like I'm on a show right now, which I'm kind of doing one act, like I kind of cut every act, or I'm cutting every act.
How much has the technology changed for you over the years of editing?
Well, it hasn't changed too much, the Avid editing. I was actually an assistant editor way back, like in the last days of film, using the Moviola,
Okay.
but now everything's digital, and all the young people and everyone in college, everyone in high school is learning Premiere. I'm an Avid editor, like old school Avid editor. But in a few years, it's going to be AI. That's the new thing. AI does everything.
Are you worried about work because of that with the technology change like
I'm
that?
I'm I'm too old. I'm too old to worry. If I was 20 years younger, I'd be worried. But right now, I'm ready to tap out, so it's okay.
Uh, yes. So I heard recently you gotten back into the acting. Is there anything you want to try to accomplish as you tackle that field
Well,
again?
you know what? I was always the type of actor that did it because like I I just liked, I'm artistic. I paint, I draw, I write. I'm just kind of like artistic, and acting came naturally. It was great. I enjoyed it. And I always said there's two type of actors. There's the kind of like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And there's the ones like, don't even watch it. You know what I mean? I was kind of like that. I never clicked. I never had a ton of acting friends. It's probably, and then when I started having kids, I started editing and producing, and I was doing some producing is very creative because you can give 10 different people the same footage. You can have, 10 different editors, the same footage. You can have 10 different cuts, so there's still a to look what I did with it. There's pacing, there's timing, there's, so I find it very, very creative. And then I kind of disappeared into the editing for like the last 20 years. Jersey Shore kept me busy. I did The Real Housewives. I did Shark Week, Ancient Aliens, as you mentioned, Curse of Oak Island. I've worked on a ton of shows, and so it was fulfilling. But now my kids are grown and they're going off to college, and I was like, you know what? I don't know. Why don't I just do me for a little bit? And so I'm going back into acting, and because I want to, and I don't need to. I don't need anything. I'm very happy in life. It's just I just really, really enjoy it. And I love watching it. I love watching a great performance. I love watching slow horror with Gary, Oldman. Tom Hardy's my favorite actor. I just love the movies. I love cinema. I love television. I just love it all.
No. Do you think you'll be going in with a different perspective? Because I was actually talking to somebody earlier about this, and he was actually involved with the Lost Boys. He was one of the main characters and such.
Oh,
And
oh,
yeah,
wow.
Alan Frog,
Okay.
yeah,
I,
Jamie
I don't recall,
Newlander
but
is his name.
it was Kiefer Sutherland back then in the Lost
Yeah,
Boys,
he
right?
was in there too. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
guy I
yeah.
was talking with was Corey Feldman's brother in the movie,
Oh, yeah.
one of the
God, I hadn't
frogs.
seen that in years. It was great.
And we were talking about it because he, kind of took time away and did other things as well. And I used a reference of Eddie Murphy when for an interview he did about stand up. And Eddie was talking because the interviewer asked Eddie, and this interview is probably like 12 years old or something at this point. But the interviewer asked Eddie about, would you do stand up again? And he goes, I don't know, because I left here and I enjoyed what I did, but I went to do other things. He went to act
Yeah,
and everything else.
sure, sure.
His career went a different direction. And he said, I'd be afraid that I would ruin what I've done. But he goes, on the other hand, my perspective has changed. I've been married a couple times. I had kids. I had this.
Yeah,
That everybody deals with, in life. Families and kids and just all that stuff. And he goes, on the positive, I'd have so much more material to tap into. So, do you
right.
think on the acting, just life in general? So, do you think on the acting side, you would be looking at a different perspective in how you would approach things because you've had
Yeah,
different
yeah.
experiences.
I no, I think the older that you are, the more experience, the more perspective you get on things. And I'm not desperate. I'm not hungry. I want to do it. I don't need to
Yeah.
do it. which is what, well, I guess you always need to do it, right? There's a little something inside you, but it's not like you're waiting tables and you're like, please God, get me out of waiting tables. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I'm not in that place in my life. I'm kind of happy. I'm content. And and I think when you have like I don't care attitude, you're a little more relaxed. You're a little more able to be creative, because being uptight and being nervous is difficult. So, I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I really am.
Well, we started the episode with you being a wrestling fan and talking about the different people. Like I said, I will
Oh,
send
yeah.
emails when we're done here to everybody, but with you tagged in to do introductions. But what else, if you're sitting having a glass of tequila from your luchador bottle or a glass of wine there or whatever the case may be,
Dry.
you know, what what do you find yourself watching entertainment wise? Are you a documentary guy? Because especially when you're knee deep in editing and everything that you're doing, what do you
Yeah.
find yourself watching for entertainment? Can you?
You know what? Like I said, I mentioned Tom Hardy. The show Mobsters is great. Slow Horses. I like a great television show, or a good like Game of Thrones was just great. Yeah, I love cinema. I love the movies and stuff. I'm not a horror guy. That's what I said to Aaron, because Aaron was like,
Yeah.
had me on the show. I get a little scared. I live in Los Angeles. I watch one of those movies. I think someone's going to break in my house and kill me. It freaks me out. It's a little too real. I grew up with comedy, so I'm a big comedy
Okay.
fan. My brother works with a like museum of television and radio or whatever, the TV museum, and he helped open the TV Museum of Comedy where in Lucy Ball's hometown, upstate New York.
Okay.
So we grew up on comedy. My brother has arguably one of the biggest comedy collections of records. He has thousands of comedy records. So we just days, I love a gritty grunt. Like, did you see Gomorrah?
Yeah,
It's
I did.
Italian. It was, how good was that?
Oh,
That,
Magnificio.
yeah, yeah. That's a kind of show that I love. Those kind of shows.
Yeah, something with some meat on the bones that you can.
Yeah. I just watched The Departed uh just like yesterday. And I hadn't seen it in a few years. God, it was good. Like I love a good movie like that. A little bit of
Absolutely.
grit, a little bit of crime, a little bit of, underbelly of society, that kind of thing.
It's funny. I have it. I deal with I shouldn't say I deal with him. He's ended up becoming one of my better friends. A stunt guy and actor who lives up near Magic Mountain, and
Oh yeah.
he's you know he's like, hey, like they filmed like was it? I think it was the Evasion of the Body Snatchers out that way, and there's things
Oh
they
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
shoot out in that neck of the woods in Canyon County,
Yes,
and
the
I'm always
Disney
getting.
Ranch is out up that way.
Yeah, he's always texting me. Guy's been in the industry for 53 years, but he'll always. I get at least 2 or 3 texts a week saying, "Check this out." Like a lot of martial arts, a lot of westerns, a lot of He'll send me, "Hey, watch this, watch that." So it's like he gives me a lot of good material to
Yeah.
which I appreciate. Stuff with meat on a bone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you like the horror genre. That's your
I
your
do,
deal,
I
right? You're a
do,
big
but
horror fan?
yes, but unlike
Yeah.
Aaron, and Aaron, I'm not bad mouthing because I know you'll listen to this. I know I'll get a phone call, but I have a little more broad base. Like I love comedy. I love a good drama, and it's funny during some of our streams we were talking about because I had a fan send me sitting over here a couple VHSs of two of my favorite movies. One being Blazing Saddles and the other being
Oh, yeah.
Caddyshack.
Oh my God.
And
Classics.
Yeah,
Classic.
you can't make those type of movies, I don't think, anymore with the PC
Well, to
culture.
quote Mel Brooks, someone said, "Can you make, Blazing Saddles today?" And he goes, "We couldn't make it then." You know,
Yeah,
that was his great line. But I tried to show my kids. I brought them in to watch Blazing Saddles, and they were little at this point. And then I forgot, a lot of the language,
yeah.
and they were
The
looking at me
sheriff is
like,
near.
yeah, you know what? It did not go over. And then all of a sudden I started feeling weird. It was awkward, but not with Frankenstein. What's the movie?
Young
His
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Young Frankenstein, that's solid. That goes
Yeah.
over. That stays.
You
But
can
Blazing Saddles, in this day and age, it was a little, and I wasn't prepared for that because I
yeah.
was like, this is the funniest movie ever made, and then it was like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
doink.
Because it was sitting on this shelf over here for a little while, but I put it on a movie shelf next to Rocky. And it
Put
was
it over
funny.
there.
Yeah. But no, my niece goes, "What's it?" Because she's old enough to read at 8. She goes, "What's Blazing Saddles?" I can tell you a little bit, and she asked her like, there's like a couple horror posters and stuff in here too, and it's a mixture. I got
Put out
Rocky.
your hands. Stick out your tush.
Throw out your hands, stick out your tush, hands on your hips, give them a push. You'll be surprised you're doing the French mistake. Voila! All right, cut!
Oh
said,
yeah, Rocky, greatest movie ever.
Yeah, because I'm from Philly, so it's like a home base. And she looks at the
Oh.
cabinet of movies. What can I watch in your stuff? Let's see, there's 250 movies there. I'd say
Yeah.
4.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get away with
can
Rocky.
watch.
You can watch Rocky.
I said you can watch Rocky, you can watch E.T. and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I said,
Well, you're clearly a Philly guy, right?
yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, have you ever seen Bill Burr's like evisceration of the audience when they try to boo him off stage and he just went
Oh.
ballistic? It's legend.
Yes.
How great is that?
Yeah. You
It's just
Oh.
30 minutes of him just destroying Philly.
destroying everybody.
And
well, you mentioned Mel Brooks there.
yeah.
Are you nervous, like I am as a fan, of Spaceballs 2, which they're in Australia filming now?
Yeah, well, you know what? His History of the World, he did it as a series. What did he come back?
On
He
Hulu,
just
yeah.
did like, yeah, and it wasn't the right characters. It wasn't like the old days. It just didn't land. I don't know if the terrain has changed. I don't know. So I hope it does well. Spaceballs, and I hate to say this because I'm a Mel Brooks fan. I never saw
Yeah.
Spaceballs. I never
Okay.
saw it.
Well,
Yeah.
the cool part about that is, from what I heard, I brought Rick Moranis out of retirement, which was awesome.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they got
Oh,
help because they brought him out of retirement to do 2, which is awesome because he was in the first
it's worth watching just right there.
Yeah,
He was
because
in New York City and got punched in the face randomly like a few years ago. Remember that?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Well, but it was funny because he was also, most people think of him, there's 3 roles. They think of Darth Helmet from Spaceballs, Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids are the 3 that stand out.
That's
for him.
exactly right. Yeah, I'm
And
the
I'm surprised
gatekeeper.
with the-
You, they, yeah.
I'm surprised with Ghostbusters they couldn't get him to come out. So when they said he came out of retirement for Mel,
Yeah. Yeah.
is,
I didn't see the last Ghostbusters. Was it any good?
it was okay.
Yeah.
The first one,
Yeah, that's what
I would
happens
say,
to sequels,
yeah, it was okay. I would say the first one they did a couple years ago, Afterlife, was more sentimental because you had just lost who the hell is it? Ivan Reitman.
Yeah.
Who was a comedy genius, and then you lost somebody else between films. So I'd say when the new generation, the first one was more sentimental for what it is. So, what does the rest of the year in 2020, early 2026 look like for you? Do you have stuff on the books? Or?
Well, right now I'm finishing. I'm editing a crime show called Killer Relate. I'm in the fourth season. I did season 3. It's called Killer Relationship Show on Oxygen. The production company is Texas Crew, great bunch of guys, and it's a great show. So I'm having a great time editing this. If any auditions come my way, I'm doing those as well. I just did a small indie film. I worked with Dennis Hopper's son, Harry Hopper,
Okay.
and I met him. What a terrific guy! I thought, son of like big actor like that might have a little chip on his shoulder. What a really nice guy. Yeah, hit it off with him.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't hit it off with him. I didn't get to know him, but very nice guy. So, and Eric Roberts is in that film. I didn't get to work with Eric Roberts. I love, one of my favorite movies, and I think it's an underrated movie, is Runaway Train. Do you remember that one?
His book is Runaway
There
Train.
he goes. That's the name of the book.
Yeah.
I need shoes. I need shoes.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
I didn't have any scenes with him, but just knowing that I was in a movie that he was in made me so happy.
and he signed it for me, so which was nice.
Is that the name of his book, Runaway Train?
Yeah, Runaway Train.
Oh, it's perfect.
Or the story of my life so far.
It's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, he's great, and he's always good in everything he does. You know.
Well, I'll tell you my connection to Eric Roberts, and I'm going to be talking to him in this format soon. But
good,
because of who his wife is, Elise, right?
No.
All right, his wife, Elise Roberts. She was in one of the all-time. She's an actress as well, but works now as his manager. But she was in one of the all-time classic comedies, in Animal House.
Oh, she's shitting me.
Yeah,
was she was one of the toilet paper or what?
No, she was one of the ones when a couple of the frat guys, went to the girls' sorority, and they took them out to dance. Well, can we dance with your dates? She was the dark-haired secretary.
Mind if I dance? Yeah. Oh my God, really?
That's his wife.
That's one of the funniest movies of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
That's on. That should be on your list with Caddyshack and
Blazing Saddles. It is.
Yeah, I mean, Animal House was a revelation when it came out.
Oh, absolutely. Because that's what they changed the focus of National Lampoon there. If you know the story behind that, so.
What, they shifted it to film, or
well,
what do you mean?
Because they weren't in the film business at the time. They were, the magazines and stuff.
Yeah,
and they were going to lose the guy. He was involved with the National Lampoon.
Kenny?
Yeah,
Kenny, right?
Brian Kenny, he was
Brian
going to
Kenny,
leave, and they said, "You can't leave. We're making a film," and that's how they started.
Doug Kenny, I think it was Doug Kenny,
yes.
right?
Yeah. Because he was involved with that, and his last project was Caddyshack before he passed away in Hawaii. He didn't even get to see the premiere of Caddyshack.
Under dubious circumstances, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so it's full circle.
Wait,
Doug was
Caddyshack before Animal House?
After.
Oh, it was after. Okay, it was after.
Yeah. Animal House came out in 78. Caddyshack came out in 80. So they were like back to back when they did it.
You know what's really cool is, I've had I say this because I grew up in Los Angeles. I'm a New Yorker. I tell people I lived there long enough to get the accent, but I moved here as a teenager. I'm an Angelino with a New York accent. But I was producing, you live in LA, you do a little everything. So I was producing some specials for VH1, clip shows. And I did a clip show, and I had to interviewed the talent. I interviewed John Landis. And so while I'm, and he's great because he's just a bite machine. You just let him go. He'll say great stuff. But when I had him in the room, I said, "Hey, I want you to know, when I was 14 years old, my friends took me to a movie called Animal House. And you remember when you were a kid, everyone in school, they made you read that book, Animal Farm. It was like
Yeah.
torture. So I was like, Animal House. I don't want to see a movie called Animal House. And I go into this movie begrudgingly, and it like changed my life. Food fight. Just it was just crazy.
Everything.
And I got to share that story with him. Which was really, really nice.
Well,
And
it's
he
funny.
appreciated it.
Well, it's funny. I just recently finished a book and spoke with the author on the Blues Brothers film,
Oh, sweet.
and Daniel DeVries, and he was, because you bring up John Landis, and John,
I lost your
he
hearing.
was. You got me now?
I lost you.
Hold on. Let me see what happened.
I don't know what happened.
You got me now?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Am I
yeah, I
back?
can hear you now. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulty there. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're back.
Okay. So
Yeah,
Daniel was doing the book on the movie, and he was trying to get it in contact. Dan Aykroyd wouldn't officially talk to him because of the rights and all that stuff of the movie,
Yeah.
but for some odd reason. But he looked up John Landis's phone number on one of those sites that you
Yeah.
can get, almost like the white pages kind
Yeah.
of deal online.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he finds this number and he cold calls John Landis. And he's a member of this site that he picked because he's a newspaper reporter too. So that's how he gets some of his leads and stuff. Works for USA Today and all. And he calls and goes, "Hi, is this Mr. Landis?" "Yes, it is." And he was the right one. And like you said, being a soundbite guy and all the clips, he got just cold called him. Had John on the phone for an hour. So
Yeah. He's great. He's great. Yeah, I wish we saw. He made some of the funniest movies. I mean, Trading Places. What else did he do? He did Trading Places. He did something else with Eddie Murphy. I think they're Coming to America.
yes,
I mean,
he
right
was
there.
involved.
Coming to America, Trading Places, Animal House, right there. You just like
Blues
slam
Brothers,
dunk.
was his.
Blues
There's
Brothers.
just a bunch. Fried Green
Yeah.
Tomatoes for those indie lovers. That came
And
out right
his
before.
his documentary, I believe he won the Emmy for it, was of Don Rickles, who's
Yes.
one of my comedy heroes.
How can
and
you not love Don Rickles?
yeah.
There's a Don Rickles story in Frank Sinatra. I love that story. Don out to dinner.
Oh, yeah.
You know that one? Hey, bald head, because Frank would call him bald head.
No, I don't know the bullet head story. I know the story. Don's with like a girl. This is before he's married, and he says, "Hey, Frank, she doesn't believe
Can you
that
come
I really
over?
know you. Can you drop by the table, say hello?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So Frank goes, "I'm down to the espresso. I'll come by." Frank Sinatra comes by the table, and he goes, "Hey, Don, how you doing?" He goes, "Can't you see him with a date, Frank?"
Yeah.
It's classic. It's a legend.
Yeah.
But bullet head is what he called.
That was the nickname
right?
Frank and all gave him.
Yeah.
They gave
Yeah.
Don Rickles a name. You can't make him like Don Rickles anymore, I love going back and watching the old roast and stuff. It's just, you piss yourself laughing.
It's one of my favorites. You want to know something? I have a neighbor up the street who's a great friend, but his father-in-law, who just passed, I went to his funeral. I hit it off with him because he's an old union guy. He was old prop man. He did a bunch of stuff. So I used to sit with him and bullshit with him, and have drinks. And then he told me he worked and he did a commercial with Frank Sinatra. And now I'm just like, "You worked with Frank Sinatra?" And he goes, "Yeah, he threw a stool at me." And I go, "He threw a stool at you?" He goes, "Yeah, he didn't like the stool. He didn't want to be working with a stool. And he threw it at me." And I go, "What did you do?" He goes, "I ducked."
What are you going to do with Frank, Like,
yeah. When Frank threw a stool at him, I was like, "You're my hero."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to think of the one movie my buddy Anthony sent my way. Circle of Iron, which is good action in depth. Was his first project.
Oh, I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
Yeah,
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I'll send you a list of that too. But I definitely gotta hook you up with everybody. But Ken, if people want to find you, I guess what's the website you got there?
Oh, I'm on Instagram. It's kenabraham.official. Right? How do you do that?
Yeah, something like that. I found you today.
And then yeah, that's it. That's where I'm at. I'm on Instagram.
And yeah, you know what? You know what I'm thinking? We might have, and I know she'll be down for it. Yeah, I'll call her later or tomorrow, Linnea. I think we need to do a watch party of your film together.
There you go.
Have the live audience with us.
She's one of the coolest people. You know, when I met her, she was like contemplating being a cop. She goes, I think I might want to be a cop. She was the most interesting person I'd ever met. She was like an animal lover and just cool beans. I did like 3 movies with her. So I worked with her. I did Vice Academy with her. Mind, what was the other one? I did a few with her.
Yeah, she has the awesome. Animal rescue in California, LA there. Yeah, she runs.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I said she runs an animal rescue out there in LA.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me. Good for her. It's fantastic.
We'll do something for because she has a kennel of dogs, and it's like, what are you up to? I'm feeding 50 dogs. I'm doing this. Okay, all right, have fun. Yeah, it's just one of those. All right. Sorry I called. No, she's the best. Ken, thank you so much, man.
Hey, I really appreciate it. It was really great chatting with you. Hope we do it again.
We're definitely going to be in a loop, that's for sure, with everything, with the similar interests and stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, very cool. All right. Right on. I really appreciate it.
Hey folks, looking for the ultimate destination for the nerd enthusiasts and collectors? Well, we found the spot for you. Nerds Nest Collectibles is a haven for nerds, geeks, and fans alike, as they have many different products and certainly more to come. Make sure you go ahead and visit them at nerdsnestcollectibles.com. Check them out.
Hey y'all, this is Adam Marcus, writer and director of Jason Goes to Hell and Secret Santa, and you are taking a ride on Crazy Train Radio. Badass.